Come on in. It's the Sports Parlor Podcast, brought to you by BetJack.com. And now, please welcome the guys who know it all, Phil Taylor and Nick Pedone.
Welcome on into the Sports Parlor Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Pedone, joined alongside 2011 Cleveland Browns first-round pick, Phil Taylor. Phil, welcome on back into the Sports Parlor, my friend. What a weekend for football we just had.
Crazy, especially in Ohio, man.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these Ohio games. The Cleveland Browns barely beat Minnesota in a defensive battle. The Cincinnati Bengals in primetime Thursday Night Football, battle of number one overall picks. Joe Burrow gets the best of Trevor Lawrence and those Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll definitely be talking about that. Ohio State beat Rutgers, and the Cincinnati Bearcats beat the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They look legit down there. More importantly, Phil Taylor improves to 2-0 in our weekly pick segment.
Let's get it.
Jeez, I definitely got to do something. So yeah, now I find myself in a hole. So you got to start picking underdogs to try to make up some ground. So we'll see what we got in store for that segment. This week, we're here to talk about more football. We'll recap week 4 for you guys. We're going to get ourselves into week 5 of the NFL season. And we start that off with our brand new segment, Phil's Facts. Take it away, Phil. What do we got first off?
First one we got, Baker was bad on Sunday. I don't know, man. Baker, he a little inconsistent, I would say. That's the only thing. You know, he's been doing good, and he just had a little inconsistency last week, and his little high step, little stutter step threw me off, man. That joint was ugly. But at the same time, man, you got to do what you got to do, get the dub. We got the dub, so I'm happy.
So they did get the win, and it's always nicer to look at these games post-victory. You know, it's a lot easier, I'm sure, for the team as well to go in on Monday after a win and kind of dissect what went wrong. This was probably one of Baker Mayfield's worst games as a professional. What went bad for Baker? Because there's a lot of people that are like kind of pushing the panic button on this guy. He hasn't looked right really since that shoulder popped out. What do you make of all this?
It just looks like he's trying to do too much. You know, he's reverting back to the older Baker Mayfield when he first started out. He just got to let things happen. You know what I'm saying? Going out there trying to force things is not the way to go. Just let the play build. Get, like I said, feed your 2 animals and hunt and chub, and everything else going to fall in line.
So, and then you factor in, there was a lot that went into this game, and Baker's a big no-excuse guy. That's kind of why we like him in Cleveland. He's a very hard worker. Playing banged up, the shoulder thing is a factor, playing with the brace on. Then again, he's without Jarvis Landry, who is kind of his real security blanket. You can make what you will out of Rashard Higgins, but he's just not the same stature of Jarvis Landry. And then you sprinkle in the Odell Beckham factor into the equation. Also, Baker's first game ever in a dome. It was very loud in there. Do you think OBJ could have had anything to do with some of these struggles? Because it seems like Baker really good without Odell. Now Odell comes back, and here comes the chatter again. Now Baker's back to a shell of his former self, and he's not even reading the field the same way that he did.
It goes back to when I said trying to force it. You know, everybody knows Odell back. That don't mean you got to give him the ball every time. He gonna make his way open, just like on the one when Baker missed him. He kind of threw the back shoulder on the out and up when he could have just touchdown.
Yeah,
just easy. He overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like I said, just overthinking it. He just got to relax. You know, take a step back, and you know what I'm saying, go forward.
So with that said, another formidable opponent. We'll talk about the Los Angeles Chargers in a moment. You believe to be one of the best, if not the best teams in the AFC. Baker's got to get right in this football game against a solid defense out there in LA.
Oh, yeah. Last night, man, watching that game, they're young and hungry. And number one, their offense going to go as 10 goes and as Eckler goes. Eckler was a beast. And if you ever looked at one of his YouTube or Instagram videos, him working out, dude's small, but lift like, you know what I'm saying, lift like an old D lineman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's tough. He can catch the ball, run the ball, like I always said, man. But they're going to be tough, and definitely with that defense as well. Raiders couldn't do anything on offense.
Yeah, I'm definitely not worrying about Baker Mayfield yet. I'm not pushing the panic button yet, and I really don't think Browns fans should either. We've gone through the laundry list of quarterbacks through 1999. Going through into that game, Baker Mayfield was the NFL's leader in completion percentage. He's been extremely accurate. I get that it was a super ugly game on Sunday. Let's take a look at some other quarterbacks that have had some struggles, Mr. Phil Taylor. Aaron Rodgers in year 4. I got a date for you, December 18th, 2001. Rodgers against a 5-8 Kansas City Chiefs team was just 17 of 35 with just 1 touchdown. Packers were 15-0 at that time, looking to go 16-0. Couldn't do it against the Chiefs. Then again, same year, 15 of 26, no touchdowns, 2 picks, a 44 passer rating. Rodgers in year 4, Baker in year 4, not the greatest. Phillip Rivers, November 16th, 2008 versus Pittsburgh, 15 of 26, no touchdowns, 2 picks, another really bad passer rating for Phil. Drew, a lot of people compare Baker to Drew, both guys shorter in stature. 2003, he had a 7 of 15 performance for just 49 yards and a pick. That was obviously a loss, and a 26.8 passer rating. 2005, he was 22 of 44 in a game with 3 picks, 35.7 passer rating. Peyton Manning, arguably one of the greatest ever. December 10th, 2001, 19 of 32 for 3 interceptions. They lost 41-6 to Miami, did the Colts. These performances happen all the time. Good quarterbacks lay eggs. It's how they responded. All of those guys didn't let those performances snowball. They didn't let that define them. So if Baker Mayfield goes into SoFi Stadium on Sunday and lights the world on fire like we all want him to, nobody's going to care.
Yep. He go in there and lay an egg, you're going to have some problems. But you go in there, you clear it, forget about last week, move on to the next week, and get things right, they're going to be all right.
Well, let's talk about that other side of the football. Phil, give me your second fact this week.
Browns defense, it could be one of the best, if not the best. When I say that, they're young. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go with Greedy. You know what I'm saying? He had a great game yesterday. And not yesterday, but Sunday. And that defense, he needed that. And that defense needed that as well. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more satisfying to guys up front than to see your DBs balling like that. You know, we working our butts off trying to get to the quarterback, and if they have a chance to actually throw it and you pick it off, cool. You know what I'm saying? That makes your D-line and your linebackers, you know what I'm saying, that much, you know what I'm saying, thankful. But, yeah. The Browns defense can be one of the greatest, man, this year. And with Clowney and Garrett on the ends, who can stop that?
And I like that too because it's a beautiful mix, in my opinion, of the young guys and the old guys. NFL pundits don't want to remind you Myles Garrett is just 25 years old, despite being in the league for a little while now, already on his second contract. Jadeveon Clowney has been around. Malcolm Smith at the linebacker position has showed us some things. And like you said, the young guys, Greedy, Greg Newsome when he was healthy, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the linebacker position. There's a lot to look forward to from that defense. And if they could keep this up, and if the offense could shake some of the cobwebs that we've seen early, look out to the rest of the National Football League. All right, well, let's talk about one of our other Ohio teams. Cincinnati Bengals got a big dub on Thursday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer, boy, has he had a rough couple days, been in the news a bunch. Phil, give me your third fact this week.
Man, Jaguars, I still don't think they're the worst team in the NFL right now. They're super young. You got a rookie quarterback. You got some injuries in the running back position. You can go ahead and say you got a rookie head coach as well when it comes to coaching in the NFL. They got a lot of growing pains, like I said earlier in the episodes. They got a lot of growing pains that they got to deal with. And they're 0-4 right now. I think last Thursday was their best shot at being 3-1 right now, and they kind of blew it. But they just got to go back to the drawing board, and they got to go 1 week at a time. They can't go 0-5. This week is a must-win for them, and they got to get it done. But I'm going to add something to that. Jaguars, they're not the worst team, but like I said, they can be better. They got a lot of, athletes on that team that can get the job done. But the best team, like I said, I was probably going to go with the Chargers, though. the Chargers probably going to be the best team right now, in my eyes.
Wow, so really you think the Cleveland Browns then have a really tall task is what you're saying, and playing
Especially for the AFC.
Yeah, in your AFC leader and power rank as of right now, obviously these things could kind of change on a week-to-week basis. I agree with you. The Chargers look good. You know Herbert's kind of my guy, young quarterback that I can't believe fell to the point that he did, and he looks really good with some of the weapons that they've surrounded him with. I like the Chargers too. Tall task for the Brownies on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into our weekly pick segment. Phil, great job with your facts. That's always a lot of fun every week. All right, well, let's get into our weekly pick segment. We'll do it from Seattle, Washington, as the Seahawks are 2-2. Will play host to the Los Angeles Rams. Rams in this game are 3-point favorites on the road. We know that sometimes those road teams going into Seattle, tough place to play. Rams still giving 3 points. They're the favorites here.
You got to go with that offense, man, with them Rams. And that's what I think Vegas is picking off. That offense and them guys rolling like that with Kupp and Stafford and Woods, they're just hard to stop. And the defense, not, you know what I'm saying, like Donald and Ramsey and all those guys, dude. It's going to be tough. But the Seahawks, they coming in there. They going to get it done. I think the Seahawks can get this because they got offense too, even though they ain't got the defense to hold with their offense, but I think they can get it done.
Yeah, when you get one of those performances, right, it's kind of a pick your poison in Seattle with what do you want to do. You want DK, you want Lockett, you got Chris Carson too that could kind of do some things every now and again. I'm actually going to pick the Rams in this game. I think they got to get right. They were 3-0, fell to 3-1, and kind of just a weird clunker of a performance that they weren't able to secure the victory. I think in this game they could venture onto the road and beat Seattle. I'll take the Rams money line, but I think
dangerous.
Dangerous, you're right. I think this is going to be an extremely close game, and I think the National Football League is going to bless us with another gem on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on forward. Another big primetime matchup that a lot of eyeballs will be on, especially in the AFC here, as the Kansas City Chiefs are back at home, Arrowhead Stadium, against the Buffalo Bills. Chiefs are 2-2, but it definitely seems like they're getting right back on track. They enter this game as 2.5 point home favorites against Buffalo.
This is one of those ones where it can go either way. This is going to be a definite future playoff potential matchup right here between these two. And, man, you got the young Bills going against the young Chiefs. You know what I mean? I think this is going to come down to what defense is going to hold up the best. You know what I mean? Because both of these teams' offenses are high-flying, throw the ball downfield. They got decent backs. It's going to be a fun game to watch, and that's that. They got it on Sunday night, a perfect time to have it. And I'm going to go, man. I'm going to go Chiefs on this one, man. Chiefs can't go 2-3.
Yeah, especially in this spot.
That's tough. That's tough to lose 3 games this early for the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. And Andy rallying the guys and getting things going. And
in that division as well, we talked about the Los Angeles Chargers a little bit ago in the show. They look red hot, and it's like, who's going to stop the Chargers? Where in years past the conversation has been in that conference, in that division, who is going to stop the Kansas City Chiefs? Another nuance to watch for as we get closer to Sunday. Andy Reid kind of making some hints, some wink, nudges. Could be Josh Gordon's NFL return, his first game as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Could be just another of the many reasons to watch this Sunday night. I'm going to ride with you on that one. I'm going to pick the Chiefs at home. I think it's just one of those games where what do they say you need to win in the National Football League? You need a good quarterback and you need a good coach. The Chiefs have arguably the two of the best of those in the National Football League. So pretty easy pick for me there. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. But if they fall to 2-3, there's going to be some conversation nationally, I think, about could this team feel the impact of 2 consecutive Super Bowls and kind of the hangover from that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's move forward. This is just absolutely crazy to me. The Arizona Cardinals, we'll talk about them, are going to play home host 4-0 favorites to the 49ers. Cardinals 5-point favorites in this game. We don't know yet who will be the starting quarterback for San Francisco. If it was up to me, I got to put it out there in writing. I want to see the young guy. I want to see Trey Lance. I'm so sick of Jimmy G. I know he's a fellow Paisan like myself, but geez, oh man, the guy can't get the football down the field. I would love to see what Trey Lance can do. And then on the flip side of this, Kyler Murray is just a video game. I know, nationally they could call him Mighty Mouse and all that stuff. He's putting on for us little guys. He looks really, really good. True. And he's an inspiration for young kids, in my opinion, that want to play the quarterback position but are just a little vertically challenged.
Man, I was watching the highlights from that game, and it made me think back to, like, just backyard football, how he was looking out there playing, man. And you hit it on the head. He might be the closest. Like, a lot of people thought, and I even thought, like, Lamar was the closest thing to Vic, since Vic. But they don't play the same way. Kyler Murray and what he's doing, that's how Vic was doing. You know what I mean? Running around the back, making plays on, out of nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this, because I don't know what the 49ers are going to do offensively, even though they got a great defense. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Cardinals on this one.
I absolutely love the Cardinals. I love Kyler Murray. Cliff Kingsbury's got those guys humming. They're 4-0, the last undefeated team in the NFL. I think they improved to 5-0 in this game and really turned some heads nationally. The 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, what is this guy about quarterback controversies that everywhere that he goes, at some point or another, it's got to show its ugly face, where now he's going to do the game this week. He's going to have to do the game this week. And Phil, I know you're familiar and have been in some of those locker rooms where those guys are waiting all week to find out if it's going to be Jimmy G, if it's going to be the young guy in Trey Lance.
And to be honest, even the quarterbacks don't know until like Friday or Saturday. So
that's tough.
It is tough, because during the week, both guys are getting reps with the first team, so you really don't know. So coaches tell you to just say, whoever's out there will be out there, and we'll go with that. You know what I mean? So, it's tough for everybody, but it's NFL. It's the next man up. You got to do what you got to do.
I got burned in my lock of the week last week because the Giants were able to upset the Saints. I don't think either of us saw that coming. I'm throwing the lock of the week on this one. Give me the Cardinals as my lock. I know it's a tough game because the 49ers have a nice defense. I'm going with the Cardinals on my lock. I'm throwing it out there. I wasn't planning on doing it. Cardinals are my lock. Kyler is my lock. I think him alone has enough to suffice to be my lock. I hope I'm right, because I'm now 1-1 on my lock. So got to have some help there. This is a tough game to do it. Give me the Cardinals.
Cool.
All right.
I'll pick my lock later. I see something better.
All right. Phil sees something, but this one will move forward to Dallas. I got to say the Cowboys are good, and they're huge 7-point favorites.
Stop saying that so early, man. Whenever we say the Cowboys good early,
the Cowboys
week
are good.
8, they be 8-8.
The Cowboys are on pace to be 8-8.
Yeah,
I know what you
basically.
The Cowboys are good. They're 3-1 in this game. They're 7-point favorites in this game. Danny Dimes, Saquon, those boys got right last week with a big victory. Daniel Jones looked good on the road in this one. I'm going to pick the Cowboys just because, like I said, I think the Cowboys are good. Dak is good. Zeke and Pollard, you said it last week, kind of took a little bit of the Chubb and Hunt magic that we got going on here in Cleveland. Chubb and Hunt light, we could call them. They look good. Give me the Cowboys. The Giants are still 1-3, and I think at the end of the day, they're still the Giants.
The Giants, they're on their way. You know what I'm saying? They finally getting Saquon going in the right direction. He's shaking them cobwebs off, but they're not gonna be able to slow the Cowboys down. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Vegas on this one. Take the Cowboys as well.
So you always tell me to settle. Are you afraid to say that the Cowboys are good?
Huh? I'm not, because I'm a Redskins fan.
Right.
I'm not Washington now, but no, it's just like everybody be like, "Oh, early, man, this is it. We 2-1. This is it." And then, 2-6. But the crazy part about that division, like, you can go 2-6 and still be tied for first in the division. Like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
The NFL need to do a reordering, a realignment. That should be crazy.
That would be crazy, especially
add a couple new teams and then throw in switch them conferences up.
Well, we'll talk about it. London wants a team, and I'm looking at a Jacksonville squad that's 0-4, could be 0-5, could be losing their head coach.
Yeah, they ain't got shit to lose.
Pop
go
a
ahead
team.
and make that trip across the pond.
Direct flights. I think you got to fly out of Chicago O'Hare though for those. That's an awful place to fly out of. All right, let's just move forward past that. Get this thing back on track here. The Las Vegas Raiders will be back at home in their beautiful Allegiant Stadium. Raiders are going to be 5.5-point favorites at home against Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm not a Bears fan. I don't feel any type of way about the Bears.
I don't know who to pick in either one of these games.
Hate Matt Nagy. I hate him. He's an idiot. What is he doing? Just play Justin Fields, dude. Stop with the rigmarole of if Andy's healthy, he's our starter. Nobody wants to see Andy Dalton. I could promise you that. Nobody except you, because you made a boneheaded promise to him. Play Justin Fields in this game, please.
He's a man of respect and integrity. That's the only reason he's putting up with this dumb stuff he's doing right now. Like, how you not going to roll with the young guy and get him going? Andy not a bag, but he's dealing with stuff. Let him deal with what he's dealing with injury-wise. Let the young boy go. You drafted him, let him go. You know what I mean? Like, this going back and forth, only person you hurting is your two quarterbacks.
And you're coming off a victory. So what does that tell to the kid that literally just rallied his team on a short week and was able to get a dub? Okay, now you're the backup again? Sweet.
If Nagy benches, I wouldn't say
benches, but flips.
If he goes with Dalton this week after Fields won, I done lost all hope for the guy. Because that's demoralizing as a player.
Yeah.
Not only as Justin Fields, but people in the locker room. We rally behind this guy, he got the job done, and then you gonna just sit him, like put him on ice? Nah, you got to play that guy, buddy.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I'm gonna pick the Raiders. I don't know why they're 5.5-point favorites. That feels like a ton. They looked awful in primetime. I'm gonna take the Raiders though, just because I hate Matt Nagy. I can't wait for that guy.
If Fields play, the Bears win.
Oh, I'm sure, but I just can't even feel confident saying that because here we are midweek and the guy is doing it's a mystery. It's like who's going to be the starting quarterback.
But even if Dalton does play and the Raiders protect like they did last night, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's a toss up, but
for the sake of picking, I'm taking
Vegas.
I'm
going to go Raiders just for the sake of Vegas and Nagy's sake.
All right, moving away from Matt Nagy, another what in the hell is going on? The Pittsburgh Steelers, let me remind everyone out there, are the sole holder of last place in the AFC North. You heard me right. The Steelers 1-3 are going to host the Denver Broncos, who are 3-1. Steelers come into this game 1.5-point favorites in Heinz Field. We talked about it last week, Phil. The noise is getting a little bit louder. Ben is looking a little bit worse and worse. Is it time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to move away from Big Ben Roethlisberger as their starting quarterback?
It's always time for something, but what are they going to do? What they got to back up Big Ben right now?
I mean, Haskins, and then you got, what else? Mason Rudolph. Do they really want to go that route?
You want to answer your own question?
I don't want to go that route. So what do you do? You're looking at three really ugly possibilities.
Hey, at the end of the day, you got both of the guys backing them up are young. That's the only thing, but I feel as though just knowing Haskins for a little bit and being in the locker room, he still got a shot.
Yeah.
For sure. And, I would try it. I mean, what do you have to lose? You're 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Give it a shot.
This is also this is interesting because the Steelers have a lot of different things they could do here. They got the young guy in Haskins under contract. You have Big Ben, who's going to be on his way out at the end of this year, regardless. If he turns things around, if he doesn't, he's out. There's the Aaron Rodgers stuff, and I don't even want to talk about the possibility of that. He's winking to Tomlin on the sideline.
It's a bigger chance Cam will be there before Rodgers.
So let's get into that, because Cam is really just chilling, hanging out, working out, using his crazy font that he uses in his social media posts. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That's bizarre,
it's a little weird.
It's a bizarre font that he uses. I don't know how he got that on his phone. It's like he's got a virus or something. But should they give him a shot? At this point, I'm like, why the hell not?
Yeah. I mean, Cam is better than both of the backups by far. Doesn't matter if he's slightly hurt or whatever going on. I think he's healthy, but still better than both of them.
Yeah.
And they should give it a shot. I mean, he's chilling at home right now. It's going to be the cheapest you can get him for right now. So, I mean, why not? But it'll go back to one of those integrity and respect things. I think they just gonna weather the storm with Big Ben. I would be surprised if they got Big Ben out of there during the season. I would be surprised.
I love being a Cleveland Browns fan right now. I got to tell you, it's something. It's something to behold. My girlfriend Cam is kind of jumping on our bandwagon a little bit, especially hanging out with me, watching all the games on Sunday. And she's like, we watched the Pittsburgh game right after, and she's like, man, they're awful. Like, it takes me back to the Big Ben crying me. And I'm like, Cam, you don't understand. This man has tormented me my whole entire life as Big Ben. He has been the sole purpose for a lot of my misery in this world, and he was so good. He's from Ohio, grew up a Browns fan, went to Miami, and it's just crazy to see it all come full circle. Now the Browns are good. The Steelers blow. I absolutely love it. Let's move right on forward. Washington football team will be at home against the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 1.5-point favorites, even though they kind of laid an egg of their own last week in their first game back in the Dome. Saints are favorites in this one. Jameis is 2-2. I think Sean Payton has to stop pretending that Jameis Winston is Drew Brees. You got to let Jameis be Jameis. This isn't fun Jameis. Fun Jameis is when he's chucking the football down the field. And at times, does he do things that make you want to gouge your eyes out? Sure. But sometimes there's some absolutely magical things that happen when you just got to let Jameis be
That's one thing
Jameis.
about Jameis, man. He might throw a lot of bad throws, but for them bad throws, he gonna make it up. Cause he gonna throw it.
Yeah.
If you let him run, he gonna throw it 50 times a game. If you let him, you know what I mean. But he's not a bad quarterback. He's showing that he can get the job done. I don't know if they're scared to open up the offer. They don't want him to get too Jameis out there. Just call him Jameis, throw it to us. You know what I mean. But yeah, they gotta let him do his thing, man. And man. This week, though, I'm going to go against Vegas on this, man. I'm going to go with the football team and them getting their defense back rolling, getting that defensive line back to where they should be. And Scary Terry, man. Saints going to have to watch out for that young boy, Scary Terry, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to pick the Saints here. I just think, I don't know. This is going to be very much a toss-up. I like the Saints kind of trying to get back right. It's kind of unorthodox for them to lose the way that they did last week. They were my lock of the week, so Saints will be my lock this week.
Gotcha.
Let's move right on through to these games. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on down there in Jacksonville and really down here in Columbus too. Urban Meyer is 0-4. The Jaguars look a mess. We talked about it a little bit at the top of the show. The Titans come in 2-2, trying to get right themselves. Titans on the road are going to be 4-point favorites in this game.
That's it?
This was originally going to be my lock because just for 4 points, I'm like, man, it's got to be way more than that. Give me the Titans here.
Yeah.
Give me Urban Meyer to get fired in a couple weeks.
Nah, don't do my guy like that. Nah, he ain't gonna get fired. But
it's crazy. There's a lot going on. I maybe getting fired is the wrong word. But
he ain't the first rookie coach to start 0-4.
Yeah.
Or is he? We gotta look that up.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. But he
got somebody on the YouTube thing back there.
On the stream, yeah. He is just so it's so urban, and this is gonna be one of those things where they'll choose their words carefully and closely because you got the USC job out there, and then you got some of the viral videos that went around this weekend, and it's just like, Urban, what are we doing, guys? So it's going to be one of those, okay, maybe he doesn't get fired, but he steps down,
so he can
or
go...
he parts ways, or they've mutually decided to split at this time. We've seen the press releases be written 100 different ways. I'm sure somebody in Jacksonville has already got the thesaurus open trying to figure out what wordage they're going to use to get rid of this guy.
They ain't going to pay that guy all that money just to let him go after 4
I
games.
can't see him coaching this team at the beginning of next year.
Come on now.
I can't. You think he will?
Bro. That's Urban Meyer y'all talking about.
Yeah.
He won championships now.
In college.
You're right. And it's the NFL. He got growing pains. Everybody don't start. It's not how you, what they say? It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
This guy's starting in a Columbus bar getting.
And this is why this is probably gonna be the dumbest decision ever. This is my lock, and I'm going with the Jaguars.
Whoa!
The Jaguars.
Wow, Phil's lock here, a surprise.
You gotta let Henry be Henry, but everything else you can't let it happen. Henry gonna be Henry. You just gotta bend but don't break. I'm gonna bite my words, but Jaguars is gonna win.
Wow.
By like 3.
All right.
I got 3. Winning by 3.
Well, I got the Titans on the road there. Phil's lock of the week already in peril because they're having I don't know. Okay, let's just move forward past the topic of Jacksonville. Let's get to Minnesota. The Vikings only scored 7 points against the Cleveland Browns. They're back to huge, massive 8-point favorites as the Lions will come into the town. The Lions, I don't know if you saw any of that game, but they're calling him Man Campbell now, and his Danalytics. We're trying to do a little bit too much, and maybe should just take the points when Jared Goff is your quarterback. Nonetheless, the Lions are 0-4, and I could probably see them going to 0-5 here. I'm going to pick Minnesota.
This was going to be my lock, but you said Urban was going to get fired, so I had to rally, man. Urban recruited me coming out of high school, so I respect him. So.
I like Urban too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Urban. Urban, won Ohio. I'm a Buckeyes fan, obviously, live in Ohio. So Urban won, a national championship, the first national championship in the first, playoff with Cardell Jones and Ezekiel Elliott. And that team was so memorable for me. But since then, I've just gotten so tired of the guy's charade and his act of like, okay, I'm, in Florida, taking some time off, then in Ohio State, like health, stepping back. He worked at Fox for like one contract, and then now he's back in the NFL, and now he already wants to go to USC, it seems, at least.
He said he wanted to go to...
He didn't say it, but I read between the... He when they asked him about the USC job, he went like this, and for everybody listening to just the audio, go on YouTube and check out the video. He was like this, I'm not going to the USC job, and the camera's right here, and he's looking like how I'm looking right now. I'm not going to USC. He's like looking down at the microphone like, dude, the answer's not on the microphone. The answer's straight ahead of you. I don't know, man. It's just
you think USC gonna pay him more than Con paying him?
That's a good question. I think they could. I think they could because he like, all jokes aside, right? And we could talk about if he's an elite college coach.
Of course.
So I think USC would be smart enough to realize that and be like, if we have an opportunity to get an elite college coach, we could get him away from the Jaguars, pay him whatever.
It's a lot of muddy waters. Like,
yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Like, I can see at the end of the year, if they go 0-16, you got to go. If you can't win no game, you got to go.
Oh, and 17 now.
17, yeah. Just an extra preseason. Well, whatever. That first game of the year is basically another preseason game. But yeah, they got. If he go 0-17, yeah, he probably got to go. But it ain't all on him, man. Like the coach puts you in the position to win. At the end of the day,
the players got to
like
play.
The coaches, they take the blame for most of that shit. But at the end of the day, we as players got to go out there and execute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. All right, we're way off topic. I got the Vikings.
Way off.
I got the Vikings here. Detroit, I'm sorry. I just can't do it yet. I love that they play hard. What more could you say than they play
definitely
hard?
going Vikings.
All right, we both got the Vikings there. Let's go across the pond. Our friends in London, England, get a 9:30 a.m. start. These are some of my favorite games, even though this is a complete clunker of a matchup. But we get to get up early. We get to watch some football first thing, have your little omelet or what have you. Falcons are technically the home team here. They're going to be 3.5-point favorites in this ball game as well. Coming off the red hot, dare I say, Zach Wilson, New York Jets, probably riding high after that victory.
Oh yeah, he definitely did a complete 180 from the week before. But man, Atlanta is just so inconsistent right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like the Jets and Salah, and I think they got a good team and where they want to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
you got to build somewhere, and they're starting. It's a slow build. We're familiar with it here just a couple of years ago.
got a rookie QB. He's learning, but Atlanta, I don't know, man. Matt Ryan 1 week he do bad, last week he does great. Can they get Kyle Pitts going at all?
You would think, right? You spent what kind of draft pick on him, and Kyle Pitts hasn't really done much of anything. Even Calvin Ridley has been a bit of a disappointment in a small way. A lot of people thought he could take really a meteoric rise after Julio.
It's starting to resemble the Steelers.
You think Matty Ice clock ticking? That Father Time's undefeated.
What you mean clock ticking? That thing finna expire, man. He need to go on somewhere. Him and Big Ben, they go get their little TV show or something, man. Let these young guys get in there and get the thing done.
Yeah, I don't even know who's Atlanta's backup quarterback. I'm gonna take the Jets. I feel like a lot of
these coaches got too much respect for these older guys that really need to be helping these younger guys out. Some of them, yeah, like Brady. They can still get it done. Rodgers. But some of these older guys in the league, man, come on now.
All right, who you got? I got the Jets.
No, I ain't going with the Jets, though. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
All right, we'll go with Atlanta. I'm just playing devil's advocate. This is a hard game to pick. Maybe New York could kind of catch lightning in the bottle. I got to go with some underdogs, so give me the Jets there. A little bit more enticing of a matchup, but still a pretty bizarre line as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be 10.5-point favorite against the Tua-less Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 1-3. I think they're going to go 1-4. Tom looks good. I get that game was sloppy. We kind of knew it was going to be very emotional. We didn't know that it was going to be absolute downpour at crazy. Gillette, but that's that Boston weather for you. I'm going to take Tampa here. Just the talent mismatch is much too far. Give me Tampa.
Oh, yeah, man. The Bucs, only thing really stopping them is themselves, man. I say that a lot, but that's true, man. With a team that talented and, coming off of Super Bowl, yeah, for sure.
And I like that, they're doing right by Gronk. They're going to give him the time to kind of get himself healthy. They don't really need him. They got so many other weapons. And you got Cameron Brate, who's kind of like Gronk, just not as good. So give me Tampa there. Here's going to be another pretty easy one with another gigantic spread. The Texans are going to be back at home against the New England Patriots. Patriots come in. This is a massive road spread. 9.5-point favorites on the road. I thought about making this my lock of the week as well, but had to go with the other one. I'm going to take New England here. They look good. They look like one of those teams that will be, when they show the graphic on TV of in the hunt and you just need a few things to happen to crack into that last wild card spot. And it's like, how the hell are the Patriots in the hunt? Mac Jones looks fine. That defense is pretty legit. I like New England in this game, definitely.
I'm going to have to ride with you on that because I don't know what's going on. And only thing I know that's actually being productive for the Texans is probably Brandon Cook.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, they got a lot going on over there that they need to work out. I'm going to go with Patriots.
Yeah, definitely already seems like the Texans are playing for next year. I'm going to take the Patriots as well. Let's head on into this matchup. Sam Darnold will be back in action. Christian McCaffrey could be making his return in this game from that hamstring injury. Unlikely, but possible. Panthers will be at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts has been throwing that thing. Panthers, 4-point favorites. I'm actually going to go with a little bit of surprise here. I want the Eagles on the road in this one. Jalen Hurts is throwing that football, and he looks really good. I get that Darnold is leading the National Football League in rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. I just don't think he has the sauce that Jalen Hurts does, and then I think Jalen Hurts is going to be able to roll through this game.
Great. They both young guys, quarterbacks, for sure. But it's going to come down to, I think it's going to come down to defense and the wide receiver play. And I just don't think the Eagles can keep up with Carolina's wide receiver play. DJ Moore, you got Anderson. He hasn't been too much involved, but they said Matt Rule's talking about he needs to be more involved. So hopefully this week they'll get him more involved. And hopefully if CMC's back, it'll make it even easier. But if not, still got Chubba Hubbard, in there. I call him Chubba Hubba. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Panthers on this. I'm gonna go against you and go with Panthers on this one.
Cool. I don't trust Sam, man. I don't trust Sam. I think
you don't think Sam be throwing that thing, man? I saw one. He threw that drain and it went. I'm like, dang, it don't even look like he threw it that hard.
Yeah, come on, that elongated, ugly throwing motion. I'm not a believer, and I think CMC's the guy that makes that go. I get that they're off to a hot start, even with the loss. They're still 3-1, but I think as these games roll through and they get through some of these lesser opponents, and maybe Philly is in that group of just opponents that aren't that good, we're gonna look back at this Panther season and be like, oh my gosh, what a facade! What were we talking about at the beginning of the year? All right, let's get into it, Phil. Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens will be at home. Ravens are 7-point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are now 1-3. Ravens are now 3-1. I hate myself for doing this. I'm probably going to pick the Ravens in this game just because of the talent mix match. Ravens look good. We talked about the Browns earlier. I am still of the stance that this AFC North is going to either run through Cleveland or Baltimore, and we're probably not going to know which one really has that upper hand until the very end of the season when they play each other twice within that 3-week time frame.
Crazy. Yeah, this one, man. Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with Wentz and the Colts. Yeah, Ravens I think they're gonna win this one easy, but I just feel as though Ravens still gotta get that offense to each week is something different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not consistent. You go out there and you look at the Chiefs and you look at all these other teams. Weekend, you know what you're gonna get, and they're consistent. And sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. But the Ravens, I feel like you go out there and watch them, and it's a new offense every game. You know what I mean? Lamar going to be Lamar, but I feel as though, one game they get the running going, one game they trying to pass. I'm like, you got to be more consistent. But I'm going to still go with the Ravens on this one over the Colts for sure by 7.
You think the Ravens could cover the 7-point as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think this should be a pretty quick and a pretty easy game on Monday night for Baltimore. Let's head on into our Ohio matchups. The Cincinnati Bengals, the red-hot 3-1 Cincinnati Bengals riding high after their primetime win, are going to be at home against the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Packers are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Joe Burrow looks good. That defense looks really good as well. I think the Bengals right now, however, are really just a cute story. I hate saying it. It's like this is a really good feel-good story that the guy is coming back off a blown knee. Zach Taylor, everybody was down and out about him. Joe Mixon might not be playing in this game. Even if he does, he's probably going to be on a pitch count because he's a little bit banged up. And Aaron Rodgers is just unbelievable. Bad man. And if this is truly the last dance with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, please, for the love of everything holy, don't let him come to the AFC at all, let alone the AFC North. I'm picking the Packers in this game. I'm picking the 3.5. Since he looks good, I'm sorry, but I have to do it. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, man, this is an easy one, but like you said, Funny way how you said it, but it's true. It is a cute story right now. But you never know. This cute story can turn out to be a great story, and them, you know what I'm saying, keep winning. You know what I mean? But I'm going to definitely go with the bad man and the Packers on this one.
All right, let's move past that one. This is the act that everybody's been waiting for. Huge matchup. Cleveland Browns are going to take that trip out west to SoFi Stadium, where the Chargers will host the Cleveland Browns. The Browns open up in this game as 1-point favorites via BetJack. A lot of sports books have varying odds on this. I've seen the Browns as underdogs by a point. I've seen the Browns as favorite by a point. Vegas doesn't want to get burnt here. They don't know what is going to happen on Sunday in California. This is going to be a crazy matchup. There's so much to look forward to. The biggest thing for me is Baker Mayfield needs to get right in this football game.
Facts. He need to get right and get right quick, because this is also another potential playoff matchup.
Yeah.
And you need to get right now and show these boys what you're talking about, because they're going to be harder to beat. Every team is harder to beat in the playoffs, even though I ain't been, but I know. But, yeah. I'm still gotta go. I'm gonna ride with Browns on this one, even though the Chargers are young and they're taking off and hard to stop, you know. But I gotta ride with my Browns.
Yeah,
17 weeks in a row, I'm gonna pick my Browns.
I love to hear that. I love to hear the optimism. This was going to be a tough game for me to pick, and I was really thinking about this game even when we were watching the nail biter against Minnesota, because I'm like, this is going to be tough. If the Browns look this bad offensively against the Chargers, it's going to be a long day. But if the defense looks as good as they did against Minnesota, it's going to be a long day for Justin Herbert. So it's a very, very difficult game for me to pick. I'm going to go with you and pick the Cleveland Browns. The reasoning there is just because they haven't showed me a reason to pick against them. Even with Baker Mayfield at his worst, even with Odell Beckham Jr. looking like a shell of his former self in that game, because Baker, quite frankly, couldn't get him the football, they still found a way to win that game. That's what good teams do. That's what good quarterbacks do. I believe the Browns have both of those things, and that's why I believe that they're going to get a win on Sunday in SoFi Stadium. And I'm with you. Until the Browns give me a reason to not pick them, I'm going to pick the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Got to give the Chargers some love, though. Brandon Staley, shout out. John Carroll University guy. That's where he got his start in coaching. This will be two really genius offensive minds on the sideline. It's going to be a big test for that Browns defensive front. We saw the young guys ball out with Greedy Williams and some of those guys. Got to keep that rolling in LA this week.
Got to. That's the win condition, man. That defense, I'm calling it again, the win condition. That defense go out there and get after Herbert, everything else going to fall in line.
All right, my win condition is Baker Mayfield's got to get right. He's got to actually complete the ball to receivers. It is the year 2021 and not the year 1991. It's a passing league. You got to be able to throw the football. We talked about it at the open of the show. All the greats have had clunkers. Rodgers has had clunkers. Breeze, Manning. It's all about how you respond. I think the Browns respond in a big way on Sunday offensively. This is going to be a hell of a football game to watch from Los Angeles. Phil, it's time for you to toss them your disclaimer.
It's never our fault if you lose your monies. Peace.
Keep that in mind when you watch these games this week and every week. Thank you guys so much, though, for supporting the Sports Parlor podcast. He's Phil Taylor. I'm Nick Pedone. If you enjoyed this, make sure you smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure to give us a follow as well. Apple Pods, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are out there. We'll be right back here next week for another episode of the Sports Parlor podcast presented by BetJack.com.
Peace.